All right, folks, welcome back to the TNT show. College football semifinals are set. Quarterfinals are done. We're not gonna take too much time to talk about the quarterfinals because everybody saw how those went. We'll probably touch on them for sure, but a majority we do want to talk about who we think's gonna win the semis and who we think can take the whole thing. So we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the one that really shocked me was Alabama getting dominated like they did. I really wasn't expecting that. I didn't expect them to win, but I wasn't expecting them to get absolutely just blown out. Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I didn't really expect to see them quit like they did. That's what I really felt like. I felt like Indiana really just took all the life out of Alabama and they just keeled over.
So I know we don't really have a whole long time, but they're really in the hole. We'll come back to that. We'll save that topic for last. Ole Miss beating Georgia, a little bit of a surprise. I mean, Ole Miss kind of looks like they didn't really miss. They hadn't really missed a beat. I mean, come out, hung 40, still scored 40 points. Yeah, you gave up 35, so that's a little concerning.
Yeah.
But, Miami held Texas Tech. I don't even know if they crossed midfield, if you want me to be honest. I really don't. I don't know if they crossed midfield at all. They didn't score.
I think you meant Oregon. But yeah, Oregon blanked Texas Tech. So
Oregon,
I think that one's
they absolutely killed Texas Tech. I don't even know if Texas Tech crossed midfield.
That one was less of a surprise to me because I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, Texas Tech was great, but
it's like I said, and I know it's like a broken record sometimes, but am I surprised? Not really, because you see this year in and year out. The teams that don't play anybody all year long, and you got to come play somebody that's actually a good team, and look what happened.
Yeah,
I'm not saying Texas Tech hadn't played anybody, but who'd they play?
Well, they
BYU?
said they beat every team they played almost
by 20 points. Every team they played, I think they beat by 20 points.
Yeah.
Like you said, double digits at least, for sure. I'm pretty sure they literally beat the brakes off everybody they played. Except for the one time their quarterback didn't play. That's the only game they lost.
Yep.
So, I mean, again, yeah, it's Oregon. I didn't expect them to do that. But it's like Texas Tech. It's like their quarterback forgot how to play football. They look terrible. Their defense did all they could. I mean, eventually you're going to get wore down and tired. It just it is what it is.
Yeah.
Who else played? Was that it?
Miami beat Ohio State.
Yeah, Miami beat Ohio State. I was a little shocked by the outcome. I thought that game would be close, but Miami kind of handled business.
Yeah, I mean, what I took from it was
honestly there really wasn't a close game other than Georgia and Ole Miss. Everything else was kind of, I wouldn't say Miami blew them out, but they kind of did.
Yeah, I mean, it was 24-4. They held Ohio State to 14 points, and only two other teams.
Yeah, only two other teams did that: Texas and Indiana.
Yep. Three of the biggest games all season, and they couldn't even score points.
Are you concerned with that? Because, are you concerned about that, or no? You just played two very good teams.
I mean, you played three very good teams, and you lost off you lost only two of those.
Yeah, you lost two of them.
Texas, but I mean, again, the concern is against good defenses, your offense is not putting up points.
Texas was game one, so who knows what would have happened if they would have played later on in the season.
Exactly.
They played a very inexperienced Arch Manning, and they still only scored 10 points. So, predictions for next week. Let's jump into that, and then we'll talk about the Alabama stuff. Ole Miss plays Miami, and Indiana plays Oregon.
Yep.
So, are we missing? No, we're not missing anybody.
No, that's it.
Um, rematch of the Big Ten champion, or no, no,
Regular
rematch
season
of
matchup.
Oregon and Indiana. So
Yeah.
it's hard to beat somebody twice. I mean, you kind of know and what to expect from Indiana going this time. You know they got a good defense. I think if you can score on Indiana, I mean Alabama turned the ball over several times, and we'll get into that. But Oregon, I mean, the way they dominated Texas Tech, that's I don't know. That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
I think they're both gonna be good games because now there's nothing like as far as like watching it. They're on separate days. They're not playing the same day. So you kind of you don't have to worry about, oh, I want to watch Ole Miss and Miami. Well, they play on the 8th and Oregon and Indiana play on the 9th.
Yeah.
So Ole Miss and Miami. I think Indiana will beat Oregon. I just don't know if Oregon can. They couldn't score on the first time.
Well,
That was literally
see,
what was slowing them down. Is they just couldn't score.
it was that plus they had some turnovers too. I feel like if Oregon can kind of get the turnover battle in their favor, they can beat Indiana. I don't think they will. Obviously, Indiana's a great football team. Much respect to them because they beat the brakes off Alabama. But I think Oregon can beat them if they can win the turnover battle and limit
They got to
what,
score 24 to beat them.
yeah, somewhere in that area.
I mean, you're going to score 20 because, I mean, although Oregon doesn't have a good defense, they already did beat them once. On the road, I might add. They beat them at Oregon. So, but it's hard to beat somebody twice. It's, you know what they're going to do. You know what they're going to run. There's really nothing that they probably did. They're not going to do anything differently, I wouldn't think. But this is it. This is taking you to the national championship. So you could see some trick plays, some going for it on four. This is it. So you may see going for it on fourth down. And I think the game of the week. I think Miami Ole Miss. This game might be a shootout because Ole Miss is going to score, and I might be concerned if I'm Miami because I don't know if they can score. Go score for score with Ole Miss. I really don't know if they can or not. Ole Miss has showed you they can score 40 if they need to. They just did it on Georgia. And this is the same Georgia team that beat Ole Miss the first time. So Miami's got a good defense though, but like we talked about, Ole Miss is explosive. They're gonna score. They're gonna move the ball.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna take Miami scoring 28 to beat them. It might be more than that.
I think I'm gonna take Ole Miss, but only because, like I said, they have the full complement. They have a good defense,
Ole
so
Miss's defense
somewhat of a
just
good defense.
Ole Miss's defense just isn't that good. You can score on them if you can score.
Yeah, but Miami doesn't have a great offense though, so I feel like the Ole Miss is a little more favored because they have the offense that can score, and they have a defense that should be okay against
The only thing I'd be a little
Miami's
concerned with
offense.
Ole Miss is Lane Kiffin pulling all their coaching. You don't really know what's going on with that. He might come out tomorrow and say, "Hey, I'm bringing up. Hey, I need. Hey, uh, Charlie Weiss. Hey, I need you. I need you here. You got to come." Then what? I don't know
True.
because he's already taken some of them. I don't know how that's supposed to work. What if he says no? No, like I'm not doing that. Then
Uh,
what?
I mean, can you?
I don't know. Oh no, I didn't know. I thought if you were in the playoffs, I thought every position was froze. I didn't think you could leave.
I think
I
you
thought
can.
I thought, or is that NFL? Well, NFL, there's deadlines. I
I
thought in college, once you entered the playoffs, you couldn't enter the portal or anything until you were eliminated.
I don't think you can enter it, but you can announce your intentions to enter it though. Because Ole Miss's backup quarterback said he plans to enter the portal, but he's going to finish the season with Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah, I guess just in case Chambliss was. What if he got hurt and Austin Simmons won the Natty?
Be crazy because he's probably still going to leave.
Oh yeah, the writing's on. Well, he might not. I think his is going to be based on what happens to Chambliss because you don't have to. You can enter the portal. That doesn't mean you have to go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean
You
that's
can
true,
back
but
out of
like,
it.
how long is it before he finds out whether or not he gets that
I
extra
would
year?
imagine. I would imagine it's probably going to be pretty soon because Ole Miss is going to want to know whether or not they got to go get another quarterback or not. I would imagine it would probably be fairly soon. I feel like if he won the national championship, why wouldn't you want to go pro? I mean, you have everything the NFL is really looking for. You're mobile. You got a good arm. Yeah, you haven't played a lot at a high level, so that I guess it's that point. I guess you're coming back for another year to kind of show you can kind of play. So I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, just because you enter the portal doesn't mean you have to go anywhere. I guess you just do it to see, like, okay, I'm going to weigh my options here. If he does stay, okay, I can go to wherever. But if he doesn't get it, okay, I can just come back to Ole Miss. So, excuse me. So let's talk about Alabama for a second. They they got a lot of question marks. Ty Simpson got hurt. Who knows what he's fixing to do.
Yeah.
I think he either goes pro or he transfers. I don't see him coming back. I think I think it's time for DeBoer to kind of take that step and start filling the pieces he needs to fill. No disrespect to Ty Simpson, he was good. He had that little stretch of he could have, but he was a Heisman frontrunner at one point. But I think he kind of showed when it's like everybody said when they played LSU, the writing was on the wall from there. If you have a good defense, he's just young. He hadn't seen a whole lot. And Alabama just didn't. They didn't have a run game. They sucked. That's the first time I've ever seen Alabama not be able to run the football on anybody.
Well, honestly,
And you honestly, I know they threw Austin Mack into the fire, but hey, that first drive, if they would have scored a touchdown right there, I'm not saying they would have won the game, but you don't really know what happens because you don't really know what happens. He moved the
um,
ball, but you don't know. But it's one of them things like I'm sure Indiana was not prepared for him to come in the game.
I, I think I'm okay if Todd Simpson decides to stay. Obviously, I understand that Austin Mack will probably
He's not
leave, but
coming back to Alabama. They already said that. They said that on TV this morning. Like he either he goes. So basically, from my understanding, he's going to get the treatment like everybody else. He's going to get that Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers look. We appreciate what you did, but we're going to go a different direction. So they said this morning he's either going pro or he's going to go somewhere. Because you've already had some people transfer, so you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But
Yeah,
like they said, basically, if ESPN says you either going pro or you going somewhere else, that's probably what's fixing to happen.
they get paid to say stuff like that though.
So, but it's kind of true. None of
Personally,
these none of these guys that are on Alabama's team are really Kalen DeVore prospects. Some of them are, but Ty Simpson was just on the team. Austin Mack came with Kalen DeVore. So maybe you try it. Like I said, DeVore's in a tough situation because he'll never he's trying to live that Nick Saban standard right now, and that's just not going to happen. We've said it a million times. There's never going to be another one. So I wish that if that's the case, he might as well have went to Penn State or Michigan or somewhere else because I mean that's not going to happen.
honestly, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is if they can't figure out how to run the football.
Yeah, they lost one of their good offensive linemen too. Plus, Caden Proctor is going to go pro.
Yeah, he's like a top 10.
So
So
I don't know. I don't know if he'll go high, but he'll go first round. I would assume. He's a big dude. He just needs some work. He gets beat. If he's just big. He'll probably have to drop some weight because he's kind of slow, especially
yeah,
on the outside. But
yeah,
I mean, these are you are playing against first round draft picks every week, so it is what it is. But like I said, I don't. Alabama's got some work to do. You've seen the gaps that you need to fill. I think you got the receivers unless they leave. Because Ryan Williams I don't really know what he had going on this year, if he was hurt or what he had going on. You're losing Bernard, I would assume. He's been at Alabama for like 10 years.
he's been there
He's
for
been
two
in
years,
college.
man. Come on, man.
He's been in college my whole life.
Oh my
Swear that's
goodness.
a topic that I want to talk about. I swear to God, some of these kids, it feels like they've been in college your whole life.
Well, honestly, it's the
TJ
end of
Finley,
the.
I know it's off topic, but TJ Finley has been in college for like 12 years, and he's trying to go to another school.
It's the end
It's
of
like,
the.
man,
It's the end of the COVID. It's the end of the COVID extra year eligibility now. So
that should
you're
have
not
been
going to
gone
see
10 years ago.
these. Nah, nah. You're not. So you're not going to see. So you got to think. You got your 4 years plus. There
The COVID
was
stuff was over like 2 years ago. It's
uh,
2026.
no, it wasn't. The last
It
year of
should
that
have been.
I think was this year because you got to think on top of your other medical stuff. There's your graduate transfer year. On top of they're giving out extra years of eligibility for the the
Yeah,
D3
Chambliss has been in
JUCO
school for like
guys.
6 or 7 years, I think. Pavia has been in school for I don't even know how long he's been in school. So
So now I think a lot of that's about to change. Now I think it'll go back to you'll see a lot of 5 year guys, not 6, 7, 8, 12.
yeah, like that tight end from Miami a couple years ago that was in school for like 12 years, literally like 10 years. I mean, I get it. You want to continue to play ball. But see, I don't really blame them. Now you get paid. So, of course, you're going to take it. Some of these guys are making more money in college than NFL players. So, why rush? You don't even have to go pro if you don't want to.
True. Yeah.
I mean, why go pro when you can make millions? Do you think that that's ever going to be a thing where somebody's like, man, I just don't really want to go pro. I mean, I've made more money in college than, I mean, you're not going to make more money in college than you're going to make in the NFL because some of these people make $300 million.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Uh,
well, I mean, I think that's why you see some of these guys, like Javi is a prime example. He's not going to get drafted. I'm sorry, but he's not.
he'll get drafted. You don't got to disrespect him, man.
You want to bet on it?
We can bet on it.
I bet he don't. If he does, it'll be like seventh round, sixth, seventh round.
Getting
At that
drafted is
point,
getting
you're going to get
drafted.
cut.
Mr. Irrelevant
So,
took the 49ers to the Super Bowl and the conference championship back to back years. So
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
just saying.
Well,
I'm just saying.
yeah, but anyway, prime example. You're not going to make any money. He already knows he's not done. You get drafted. From what my research and understanding is, from what I've always seen, if you don't get drafted in like the fourth round, at that point you really want to get drafted.
Well, hold on now, because
That
I've
way you can kind of see and pick. Every now and then, yes, there are people Puka Nakua. There are people that get drafted. But I'm saying, for instance, Shador, he probably would have been better off if he wouldn't have got drafted by Cleveland. He probably could have went somewhere else and probably would have played. I mean, I know he played, but
I mean, no. So the conversation I've heard on this too is the people who get drafted later. If you can show out, then you get to the money faster because they don't get guaranteed contracts.
yeah, that's what I meant. Well, that and like, okay, in a certain like, would you rather go to would you rather get drafted by somebody you really don't necessarily you get drafted by somebody that doesn't necessarily need you, so you're probably going to get cut or practice squad, or you could go work out for some teams that kind of could use you.
I guess it depends on the situation because if you look at Brock Purdy, he was Mr. Irrelevant, so he got his big deal faster than
Well,
anybody
now
else in his.
yes, but I know there's a but here. But if Trey Lance would have never got hurt, him and Jimmy Garoppolo wouldn't have got hurt, he never would have played.
I mean, that's true, but
I know there's a lot of things that happened in that situation that kind of, and it just makes you really wonder if you really sat down and thought about that. Well, what if we would have gave so and so a shot? You really don't know.
yeah, but I'm
Some of
just that.
these some of these guys that get drafted like sixth, seventh round that you cut and end up, doing whatever. What if they would have been better? You don't know because they never played.
Yeah, but I just, like I said, it depends on the situation. Which in most cases, those guys who get drafted in that area, you're not going to find too many of them who are getting crazy big deals because they're outplaying everybody else in their, in their
Yeah,
position, draft class, whatever. But you do find some, like you noted, Puka Nakua. I mean, obviously there's Brock Purdy. Tom Brady is like one of the biggest ones of them all.
yeah. I mean, it's all it's sometimes. Well, it's those people. I know we're getting super off topic here, but it's some of those are the people that you really want. They don't have that ego of the first round picks that, oh, I'm better than everybody. No, the fifth, sixth, seventh round undrafted free agents, some of them are Hall of Famers that, have had to fight for everything, had to fight for their spot and everything. Them are the guys that you really want, not these, guys that made millions of dollars in college, coming in and they suck.
Yeah, I mean, and on top of it too, from a team perspective, you can technically build a contender with somebody who's on a cheaper contract compared to uh somebody who's getting a crazy deal right out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, not only that, yeah, they're cheaper. But yeah, not to get too much off topic, we'll save the NFL stuff for that'd be a good. We can talk about that later. But so who you got winning it all? I know we got off topic there. So who do you got
Uh,
winning it all in college?
I'm gonna just be SEC biased and say Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. I'm gonna go Indiana. I mean, I think what you've seen, what you've seen from them is what you want to see for sure.
Yeah,
I think,
absolutely.
I think they're probably the most, probably well-rounded team. They got a good coach. You know, he's not going to put them in bad situations. Um, obviously, he's been doing this for probably longer than anybody in that's coaching right
Yeah.
now. So, but yeah, I'm gonna roll Indiana. So that's basically all I got. I don't want we got off topic a little bit. I don't want to take too much more time.
Yeah, no, that's gonna do it for us on this episode. If you made it this far, let us know who you got in the semifinal matchups, and let us know who you think is gonna walk away with the Natty Championship. With that being said, we're gonna catch you on the next episode.